ISLAM. Islam, Muslims, Islam. Just saying the word means peace to me. Islam, Muslims, Islam. Now I is for independence. S for our salvation. L means love for everyone, all over the nation. A is for Allah, the Father of the universe. M is for Moorish Americans and Muslims, which are us. ISLAM. Islam, Muslims, Islam. Just saying the word means peace to me. Islam, Muslims, Islam. Who lifted fallen humanity. Noble Drew Ali, who opened our minds and eyes to see the reason for unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America is where we learn the truth. The brothers and sisters should all attend, be sure to bring the youth. ISLAM. Islam, Muslims, Islam. Just saying the word means peace to me. Islam, Muslims, Islam. All those that are able, please rise. Face the east. Feet at a 90-degree angle. Raise 5 fingers on the left hand, 2 on the right, and repeat the Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
The Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Drew Ali.
Through Ali.
Amen.
Amen.
Islam. First, I'd like to rise and give praise to the great God Allah, the Almighty, eternal, incomprehensible, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I give honors, high honors, to his illustrious prophet, the last prophet in these days and times, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, love made manifest. I give honors to the forerunner of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, for the Marcus Mosiah Garden, purity made manifest. Taught the Asiatics that they had one aim, one God, and one destiny. I give honors to all true and divine prophets of Allah, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, etc. I give honors to the forerunner of the Prophet Jesus, Brother John the Harbinger, who paved the way that man may comprehend, love made manifest. I give honors to this Moorish Science Temple of America, this Moorish divine and national movement here in North America. And I extend those honors to all of our leadership, past, present, and future. To our past Supreme Grand Advisors and moderators in succession. For the C. Kirkman Bay, for the F. Nelson Bay, for the J. Blake. Give honors to our past Grand Chief and Moderator, the R. Ludwig, to our present Grand Chief and Moderator, for the R. Jones Bay, and to his assistant, for the A. Hopkins Bay. I give honors to all national, state, and local officials in the Moorish Science Temple of America. And I give honors to all Grand Governors and their assistants. I give honors to the Grand Governor here in the state of New York, for the D. Clark Eden, and to his assistant, for the A. Gaines. I give honors to all members, all sheikhs and sheikhs, and divine ministers of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And I give honors to all members, all sheikhs and sheikhs, and divine ministers of Moorish Science Temple number 34, here in Brooklyn, New York. I extend those honors to our leadership here, to our Grand Chief, Sister Cecile Zeal, and to her assistant, for the W. Clendenin Band. I give honors to all foreign sympathizers, all wayfarers, all seekers after truth, all tillers of the soil, non-generous souls. I give honors to all those who are striving towards the uplifting of fallen humanity. I give honors to our two flags, the American flag, with its 50 stars and 13 stripes, the flag of our birth, and to the Moorish flag, which is a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. And those 5 points represent the 5 highest divine principles known to man: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The flag of our descent. It is taught to us by our holy and divine prophet that our flag is over 10,000 years old. It's even written in our literature that is over 50,000 years old. I give homage to the powers of the two flags combined. I give homage to all the lessons of the literature and all of the remedies the Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought for the uplifting fallen man. I give homage to everything that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught for the uplifting fallen man. I give homage to the path in which he laid, which we may follow. For he is our master, and we know that he went that way. And I give homage 10 wonders and mysteries of the world, which gives us the right to practice, promote, and propagate the faith of Islamism in America without molestation. Last but not least, I give honors to each and every one of you, and I give honors to man, because when man honors man, he honors Allah. What man does for man, he does for Allah. Islam?
Islam.
At this time, I read the laws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. First, I'd like to turn your attention to the divine constitution and bylaws. Salvation, star and crescent. Our God, all-seeing eye. Unity, hand press. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine constitution and bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday, the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday, the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is a holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all of the thing acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father God, Allah. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Moorish American prayer, Allah the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. The Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 1000 North Point Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60622. Thus took a reading from the 7 Acts of the Divine Constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Next, I'd like to turn your attention to the great meeting is on. Quran questions for Moorish Americans. I'm taking a reading from page 7 and page 8. Questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. Grand Sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before acting upon by any members. Let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their ad hoc meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around in their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go in the emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch him. Let it be he or she, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag, or speak radical against the church, or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865, during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all the living acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father God, Allah. Thus took reading from the 7 Acts, the questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans, by the prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Praise be to Allah. At this time, I'd like to turn your attention to our holy literature, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Circle 7, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guiding of his father God, Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen state of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God, Allah. Know thyself in Allah, period. The genealogy of Jesus. Life and works of Jesus in India, Europe, and Africa, in the land of Egypt. I'd like to take a reading this evening from the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. Chapter 47. Egypt, the capital empire, the dominion of Africa. Found on page 57, 58, and 59. Take a reading from instruction 1. The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanite from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa, who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Mexico, the first true and divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between the Father and the Son. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, in northwest and southwest, was his father's dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa, they were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa across the great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake, which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms. Also, the Niger River was dredged by the great pharaoh of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extends eastward from the river Nile, westward across the great Atlantic. It was used for trade and transportation. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. What your ancient forefathers were, you are today without doubt or contradiction. There is no one who is able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers, unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator Allah himself. These holy and divine laws are from the prophet Noble Drew, the founder of the United the Moorish Science Temple of America. These laws are to be strictly preserved by the members of all the temples of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that they will learn to open their meeting and guide it according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and create their own laws and customs in conjunction with the laws of the Holy Prophet and the Grand Temple. I, the Prophet Noble Drew, was sent by the great God Allah to warn all Asiatics of America to repent from their sinful ways before that great and lawful day which is sure to come. The time has come when every nation must worship under his own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess his own. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers. That is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774, and the word Negro, black, and colored was given to the Asiatics of America who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and father, and strayed after the gods of Europe, of whom they knew nothing. Thus took a reading from the entirety of chapter 47, Egypt, the capital empire, the dominion of Africa. Divine instructions from a holy prophet. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate, and to know of their higher self and lower self. This is the uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca for the teaching and instructing of all Moorish Americans, etc. From the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, know yourself and your Father God Allah, that you may learn to love instead of hate. Every man need to worship under his own vine and fig tree. United nation. Praise Allah. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. At this time, I'd like to say Islam.
Islam.
Islam. And happy holy day.
Happy holy day.
Praise be to Allah. I'd like to give honors to each and every one of the Muslims that have joined us this evening here at Morristown, South number 34 in Brooklyn, New York, for our Friday Holy Day meeting. They give honor to all the ones that have joined us within the time. They give honor to all those who have joined us on our Zoom platform. They give honor to all those who are making their way to the Zoom. And honor to all those who are unable to make their meeting but woke up with this thought, Allah, the temple, and the prophet on their mind. I pray that each and every one of us will be uplifted by the gifts of the understanding in which Allah portioned to each and every one of us in a measure with seeming goodness from Himself. I pray that we can keep the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice on our hearts and our minds at all times throughout this week. And I pray that Allah will be pleased with each and every one of our efforts in striving to uplift ourselves, return to the state of mind of our forefathers. Praise be to Allah, uplifting fallen humanity. At this time, dear ones, I'd like to call on the first speaker of the evening. Before I call it forward, please give your undivided attention. I'd like to call on Sister M. Serrano Bay after a song.
Wade in the water, Moses. Wade in the water, Moses. Wade, oh, wade in the water, Moses. You light untroubled the waters. Oh, who's that younger Lord dressed in red? You light untroubled the waters. It must be the mountains that you led. You untroubled the waters, singing, wade in the water, Moses. Wade in the water, Moses. Wade, oh, wade in the water, Moses. You untroubled the waters. Oh, who's that yonder all dressed in green? You untroubled the waters. It must be the mountains that you redeemed. You untroubled the waters, singing, wade in the water, mountains. Wade in the water, mountains. Wade, oh, wade in the water, mountains. You untroubled the waters.
Islam.
Islam.
Happy Holy Day.
Happy Holy Day.
You guys give praise to Allah. And we give honors to the Prophet, noble to Prophet Jwali. And we give honors to every wait. I give honors to the Grand Sheikess of Temple number 34, Sister C. Seals Eel, and we give honors to the assistant in Grand Sheik of Temple number 34, Brother W. Clendon Bay. And we give honors to everything pertaining to Islam. Islam. So I'm going to read chapter 5. Chapter 5. After the feast, the homeward journey, the missing Jesus, the search for him. His parents find him in the temple. He goes with them to Nazareth. Symbolic meanings of carpenter's tools. Instruction 11. And then he went forth with his parents on their way to Nazareth. And when they reached their home, he wrought with Joseph as a carpenter. One day, he was bringing forth the tools for work. He said, "These tools remind me of the ones we handle in the workshop of the mind, where things are made of thought and where we build up character." Okay. We use the square to measure all our lines, to straighten out the crooked places of the way, and to make our corners make the corners of our conduct square. We use the compass to draw circles around our passions and desires to keep them in the bounds of righteousness. We use the axe to cut away the naughty, useless, ungainly parts and make the character symmetrical. We use the hammer to drive home the truth and pound it in until it is a part of every part. We use the plane to smooth the rough, uneven surface of joint and block and board that go to build the temple for the truth. The chisel, line, the plummet, and the saw all have their uses in the workshop of the mind. And then this ladder, with its trinity of steps, faith, hope, and love, on it we climb up to the dome of purity in life. And on the 12-step ladder, we ascend until we reach the pinnacle of that which life is spent to build the temple of perfected man.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
And now you told me something about a few instructions here. I think you were telling me something about instructions number 13, 14, and 15. You said it reminded you of something. What did it make you think about?
Exactly what it said.
But explain it so you had said something that I think is a good way.
But it's like you're building up character, but instead of in real life, in your body. And you're building up your character in there. Like a good way to imagine how you can make your character come to life. Well, not like character.
Praise Allah. Peace.
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 Oh, who that yonder all dressed in white? Jewelry and trouble the water. It must be the lungs of the Lord by. Jewelry and trouble the waters, singing, wade in the water, Muslims. Wade in the water, Muslims. Wade, oh, wade in the water, Muslims. Jewelry and trouble the waters. Just look forward under what do I see? Jewelry and trouble the waters. For the Christians and their mother, they can't agree. Jewelry and trouble the waters, singing, wade in the water, Muslims. Wade in the water, Muslims. Wade, oh, wade in the water, Muslims. Jewelry and trouble the waters. You can look to the east and you can look to the west. Jewelry and trouble the waters. Everywhere you look, the whole world's in a mess. Jewelry and trouble the waters. Singing, wade in the water, Muslims. Wade in the water, Muslims. Wade, oh, wade in the water, Muslims. Jewelry and trouble the waters. Jewelry and trouble the waters. Jewelry and trouble the waters.
Islam?
Islam.
Praise Allah. I'd like to give honors to our dear sister, Sister M. Soriano Bay, for her reading, for her demonstration, and for her evaluation. Sister read from divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 5. After the feast, the homeward journey, the missing Jesus, the search for him. His parents find him in the temple. He goes with them to Nazareth, symbolic meaning of carpenter's tools. There she read from instruction 11 to instruction 21. I'd like to give honors once again to the sister and thank her for her clearness and her power, her clarity and her sincerity, as well as her message. Praise be to Allah. Thank you once again, your sister. Honest to you, truth. At this time, dear most, I'd like to call on the next speaker, lead. Before I call on the fourth, please give me your undivided attention. I'd like to call on Brother K. Turner there after a song.
Oh, no, I ain't no stranger now, no stranger, ain't no stranger now. Oh, no, I ain't no stranger now, ain't no stranger now. I have been introduced to the Father and the Son, and I ain't no stranger, ain't no stranger now. Oh, if I could, I surely would. Yes, I surely would. Oh, if I could, I surely would. Yes, I surely would. Oh, if I could, I surely would. Stand on that rock, where the prophets stood, crying, holy unto Allah, holy unto Allah, crying, holy unto Allah, holy unto Allah. Oh, if I could, I surely would. Stand on that rock, where the prophets stood. Oh, sinner, run and hide your face. Sinner, run and hide your face. Oh, sinner, run and hide your face. Run and hide your face. Oh, if I could, I surely would. Stand on that rock, where the prophets stood.
Islam,
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 Islam.
Islam.
I like to rise and give praises to the great God Allah. You know, that's the author of all the worlds. I like to give honor to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali that gave us everything it takes to save a nation and said, take it and save yourself. I like to give honors to the forerunner, the Prophet, Brother Marcus Garvey, who said, up, up, you mighty race. You can accomplish what you will. I like to give honors to the chairman and everything the chairman gave honors to. I like to give honors to our dear little sister that spoke before me and everything she gave honors to. I like to give honor to our charter on the wall that gives us the right to operate on this soil. I like to give honor to the flag of my birth, American flag, for which it stands. I like to give honor to the flag of my descent, the Moorish flag, the red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. 5 points stands for the highest principles known to man: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I like to give honors to each and every one of you because when man honors man, he honors his father God, his law is Allah, Islam. Happy holy day, dear brothers and sisters. You know, life has a way of teaching you lessons, right? It's up to us to choose to take heed or to ignore these lessons, right? So while working at the voting poll stations, you know, it actually that experience this time around, I would have to say reopened my eyes, right? Because the first day, you know, everybody's kind of dreary. You know, they got to get up early in the morning. But it was that long day, them long 2 days. You know, we got to be there all the way from the morning till 8 p.m. at night. You know, people be nodding off, and you know. And then when I came in today, because I wasn't there yesterday, I had to go to another job. Everybody, mostly everybody, oh, we missed you. Where was you at, man? The spirit was gone, and I'm listening. I'm in my head saying, "Praise Allah, praise Allah." Wow. you know, and it was a good feeling, you know, for Allah to allow them to see part of the possibilities of man, right? On this day, you know, to receive that knowledge of them knowing and me knowing now, you know, it stirred my spirit in a positive way, you know. But I had to give it back to Allah, right? Where all things come from and all things must go back, you know. And it lead to chapter 19, right? Being that this is the 19th, and it had me reflect on the possibilities of man, right? Because we're taught that all power in heaven and on earth is ours. So I was like, wow, the possibilities of man are infinite. But we can't see that with this garb of flesh. We can't even comprehend how to activate it. But the prophet gave us the keys to unlock what's already in us, right? To unlock the God within, the Allah within that's closer than our jugular vein. And I'm sitting there like, wow, man, you know, to be alive is a blessing. To have consciousness is a blessing, right? To comprehend, to have understanding, that foundation is a blessing. So, you know, it had me going to this chapter 19, you know, the Holy Quran of the Moore Science Temple of America, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. Chapter 19, Jesus appears fully materialized to the Eastern sages in the palace of Prince Ravenna in India, to the Magian priests in Persia. Three wise men speak in praise of the personality of the Nazarene. You hear that? That title alone is a wealth of jewels. It speaks of palaces in India and the Magian priest in Persia. That's that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Just to unpack and study. But I'm gonna bring y'all to where they do speak, right? And I'm gonna start with instruction 22. And the Magian priest were in the silence of Persepolis, and Casper and the Magian masters who were first to greet the child of promise in the shepherd's home in Bethlehem were with the priest. And Jesus came and sat with them. A crown of light was on his head. And when the silence ended, Casper said, "A master from the royal council of the silent brotherhood is here. Let us give praise." And all the priests and the masters stood and said, "All hail the excuse me, all hail. What message from the royal council do you bring?" And Jesus said, "My brothers of the silent brotherhood, peace on earth, goodwill to men. The problem of the age has been solved. A son of man has risen from the dead, has shown that human flesh can be transformed into flesh divine. Before the eyes of men, this flesh in which I came to you was changed with speed of light from human flesh. And so I am the message that I bring to you. To you, I came, the first of all the race, to be transmuted to the image of Allah. What I have done, all men will do. And what I am, all men shall be. But Jesus said no more. In one short breath, he told the story of his mission to the sons of men. And then he disappeared. The Magi said, some time ago we read this promise now fulfilled upon the dial plate of heaven. And then we saw this man who was just demonstrated unto us the power of man to raise from carnal flesh and blood to flesh of Allah. The Babel of Bethlehem, the baby of Bethlehem. And after many years, he came and sat with us in these same groves. He told the story of his human life, of trials, sore temptations, buffeting, and woes. He pressed along the thorn way of life till he had risen and overthrown the strongest foes of Allah and man. And he is now the only master of the human race whose flesh has been transmuted into flesh divine. He is the God man of today. But everyone of earth shall overcome and be like him, a son of Allah. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. And the events after he had risen from the dead, he appeared back to India, Europe, and Africa, in the land of Egypt, and made himself known unto the world. These events are the 18 years which are absent in your Bible, Holy Bible, excuse me. The events of John the Baptist. John taught by the Egyptian sages the meaning of baptism and how to baptize himself. And after he was baptized, he was taken at the age of 12 years into Africa, the land of Egypt. And there he remained in the Egyptian schools 18 years. And there he learned his duty as forerunner of Jesus. That's a powerful demonstration for a man to demonstrate flesh divine and tell you, what I have done, you shall do. What I am, you shall be. Think about that. Just for a second. We have the potential to transmute from flesh to flesh divine, to be the God men and women of the day. And this Circle 7, the Holy Quran and the Moor Science Temple, is our keys to unlock all that potential. How blessed are we to have had a prophet prepare this demonstration for our wretched selves, for our unstable and ungrateful selves, to a people that are drunk off worldly things. Gotta think about it. Look what's going on in the world. It's a ride for real, in our lifetime. Things we never knew is now being uncovered, and nobody's doing nothing about it. It had me to ask this question: is there no help for the widow's son? Is there no help for the lost people? Noble Drew Ali said, don't worry how it looks. It's going to all be in our hands. Man, to ponder how, it'll wreck your brain because of the way it looks, because of the vibration in the ethers. It looks too weird. But in this weird, in this shallow grave, there's a beacon light. And Noble Drew Ali passed that torch to each and every one of us to be a beacon light wherever we are, in our homes, in the streets, in the schools, in our own minds. Be the beacon light. That's all we gotta do. I like to thank the brother for calling on me. And again, if I said anything that irks the spirit in a negative way, it is of me, pardon the body. If I said anything that raises thy thoughts to infinite wisdom, sparks some type of light, it is from Allah alone who deserve the praise. I came in peace. I leave in peace. Islam.
Islam. When the storms of life are raging, stand by me, stand by me. Oh, when the storms of life are raging, stand by me, stand by me. When the world is lost in deep, like a ship upon the sea, thou who knowest wind and water, stand by me, stand by me. In the midst of tribulation, stand by me, stand by me. Oh, in the midst of tribulation, stand by me, stand by me. When the hosts of evil assail, and my strength begins to fail, thou who knowest all about me, stand by me, stand by me.
Islam, praise Allah. I'd like to give honor to our dear Brother K. Turner, for his reading, for his demonstration, and for his vibration. The brother read from the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 19. Jesus appears fully materialized to the Eastern sages in the palace of Prince Ravana in India, to the Magian priests in Persia. 3 wise men speak in praise of the personality of the Nazarene. There, the dear brother read from instruction 22 to instruction 37. I'd like to give honors to the brother and thank him once again for his clearness, his power, his clarity, and his sincerity, as well as his message. Praise be to Allah and honors to you, dear brother. Truly appreciate you. At this time, we most like to call on the next speaker of the evening. Before I call him for it, please give him your undivided attention. I'd like to call on Brother El Sereno Bay after a song.
In the midst of fault and failure, stand by me, stand by me. In the midst of faults and failure, stand by me, stand by me. When I do the best I can, and my friends misunderstand, thou who knowest all about me, stand by me, stand by me. In the midst of persecution, stand by me, stand by me. Oh, in the midst of persecution, stand by me, stand by me. When my foe in battle array undertake to stop my way, thou who saved my forefathers, stand by me, stand by me. Stand by me, stand by me. Oh, the lily of the valley, stand by me, stand by me. Oh, the lily of the valley, stand by me, stand by me. When I do the best I can, and won't you beg to understand, thou who knowest all about me, stand by me, stand by me.
Islam.
Islam.
Arise and give all praise to the great God Allah, the Father of the universe, the author, the creator, governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. To him alone belong worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praise. I give thee highest honors to the last prophet in these days and time and founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, born in the state of North Carolina, 1886, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to the forerunner to the Holy Prophet who was John the Baptist of Jesus in those days and time, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I give honors to the past supreme grand advisors and moderators of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother C. Kirkman Bey, Brother F. Nelson Bey, Brother J. Blakely Bey. I give honors to our former Grand Sheikh, Brother R. Lovell, and to our present Grand Sheikh, Brother R. Jones Bey. I give honors to the Grand Governor of the state of New York, Brother D. Clark Hill, and I give honors to our Grand Sheikh of Moorish Science Temple number 34, Sister C. Seals Ill. I give honors to all national, state, and local officials of the Moorish Science of America, all of our ministers, our sheiks, our members, and our guests, foreign sympathizers, and all seekers after truth, and I give honors to man, because when man honors man, he honors his Father God, Allah. You know, I was thinking more is what man does for man, he does for Allah. And I was thinking about, Prophet Jesus came to show us the way, to be the example for man. That he came to fulfill the laws of the Old Testament. That ye are all gods and children of the Most High, but ye shall die as men. The Prophet Drew Ali, he teaches us that the nearest place to meet Allah is in the heart. And in a still small voice he speaks, and he who hears is still. So sometimes we gotta still ourselves, slow down, stop, listen. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he talks to us, he teaches us about the noise of tongues. That this is a conflict that cannot be told in words. That the Negro problem is solved only as it can, and that is through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The Holy Covenant, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth, which the Lord thy God Allah hath given thee. Take care of your parents. Take care of your children. Take care of yourselves. Both selves. The higher self and the lower self. And so we promote the strength or nourishment of the higher self as we learn about our lower selves, we subdue the lower self. Because he who knows well his lower self knows the illusions of the world, knows of the things that pass away. So when you find yourself in a conflict, you find yourself in a situation, you understand that it is an illusion. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he teaches us about this cardinal nature that sprang forth from fleshy things. Talks about the unnumbered foes. But we must overcome them all. That we might show that the possibilities that we have within ourselves. I'm going to take a reading from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science of America, chapter number 42. Found on page 52, Holy Instructions from the Prophet Weakness. And I'm going to start with instruction 1. Vain and inconstant as thou art, O child of imperfection, how canst thou be weak? Is not inconstancy connected with frailty? Can there be vanity without infirmity? Avoid the danger of the one, and thou shalt escape the mischiefs of the other. Wherein art thou most weak, and that wherein thou seemeth most strong, and that wherein most thou glorieth, even in possessing the things which thou hast, and using the good that is about thee. Are not thy desires also frail? Or knowest thou even what it is thou wouldest wish? When thou hast obtained what most thou soughtest after, behold, it contented thee not. It contented thee not. So when you are having this human experience and being taught that you are a human being, right? The body, we start to seek after different things, the glory, the fame, the wealth, the titles, the all of these different earthly things. But the prophet says, behold, it contented thee not. Wherefore loseth the pleasure that is before thee its relish? And why appeareth that which is yet to come the sweeter? Because thou art wearieth with the good of this, because thou knowest not the evil of that which is not with thee. Know that to be content is to be happy. Couldst thou choose for thyself what thy Creator lay before thee, all that thy heart would ask for, with happiness, then remain with thee, or with joy always dwell in thy gates? Alas, thy weakness forbiddeth it, thy infirmity declareth against it. Variety is it to thee in the place of pleasure, but that which permanently delighteth must be permanent. And a lot of the things that we are seeking after is not permanent. When that is gone, thou repented the loss of it, though while it was with thee, thou despiseth it. That which succeedeth it hath no more pleasure to thee, and thou afterwards quarrelest with thyself for preferring it. Behold the only circumstance in which thou rest not. So what end would you stop at? Is there anything in which thy weakness appeareth more than in desiring things? It is in the possessing and in the using of them. Good things cease to be good in our enjoyment of them. What nature meant pure sweets are sources of bitterness to us. From our delights arise pain, from our joys sorrow. Be moderate in the enjoyment, and it shall remain in thy possession. So when you wish you pray to Allah that you get this job, and then when you get the job, you don't want to be there. You praise Allah that you get this husband, and then when you get the husband, you don't want him no more. You praise Allah that you get this wife, but then when you get the wife, the joy is it's bitterness to you. To be content is to be happy. Be moderate in the enjoyment, and it shall remain in thy possession. Let thy joy be founded on reason, and to its end shall sorrow be a stranger. The delights of love are ushered in by sighs, and thy terminate in languishment and the dejection. The objects thou burnedest for nauseates the societies, and no sooner hast thou possessed it, but thou art weary of its presence. Join esteem, join esteem, join esteem to thy admiration. Unite friendship with the love. So shalt thou find in the end content so absolute that it surpasseth raptures, tranquilities, more worth than ecstasy. I want to wish all of my brothers and sisters a happy holy day. May Allah continue to unfold unto all of us. May Allah take the harden off of our hearts. May we overcome this foe of vanity so that we may be able to see our hearts and see and be real with ourselves where we are along the way so that we can continue to grow and unfold as the bud unfolds to show the flower. I want to thank our chairman, Brother I. Smith, here for calling on me. Peace.
He who came for you. He had me on his mind. I'm so glad he came for me. 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 My prophet worked for me. He had me on his mind. I'm so glad he worked for me. 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 My prophet prayed for me. He had me on his mind. I'm so glad he prayed for me. 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 My prophet loved me true. He had me on his mind. I'm so glad he loved me true. 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 Well, he came for me. He had me on his mind. And I'm so glad he came for me. I'm so glad he came for me. I'm so glad he came for me. I'm so glad he came for me.
Islam?
Islam.
Praise Allah. I'd like to give honor to our dear brother, Brother El Sereno Bey, the treasurer of Moore Science Summit 34, as well as our Sunday school instructor, for his reading, for his demonstration, and for his vibration. The brother read from the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 42, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Weakness. There the brother read from the entirety of the chapter. And I'd like to give him honors and thank him once again for his clearness and his power, his clarity and his sincerity, as well as his message. Praise be to Allah. Thank you, dear brother, truth. At this time, dear Morris, I'd like to call on the next speaker of the evening. Before I call him forth, please give him your undivided attention. I'd like to call on Brother C. Ferguson here, after his song.
Dream that the great judgment for him has dawned and the trumpet has blown. A dream that the nation has gathered before the white throne. From the throne came a bright shining angel who stood on the land and the sea. And declared not raise the water that the time would no longer be. And oh, what a weeping and wailing. The lost were told of their fate. They ran to the rocks and the mountains. Their prayer was too late. The great man was there, but his greatness, when death came, was left far behind. The angels who opened up the record, not a great his greatness could find. And oh, what a weeping and wailing. The lost were told of their fate. They ran to the rocks and the mountains. Their prayer was too late. The rich man was there, but his money, it had melted and vanished away. A pauper who stood in the judgment, for his debt was too many to pay. And oh, what a weeping and wailing. The lost were told of their fate. They ran to the rocks and the mountains. Their prayer was too late. The moles who had stood tribulation, and I heard and remember their cry. Their reward was the true name of faithful. Have I dry on their tears on their eyes. And oh, what a weeping and wailing. The lost were told of their fate. They ran to the rocks and the mountains. Their prayer was too late. Islam.
Islam.
First I rise in the name of Allah, the most gracious and most merciful. All praises due to Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Giving our honor to the love thought made manifest in the state of North Carolina, January 8, 1886. Our prophet, your brother, man, Prophet Nabi Ali. Praise Allah for sending us a prophet to redeem us from our sinful ways, to get us back to that state of mind of our forefathers, ancient and divine creed, to follow the direction that Allah ordained him to follow that footstep, that he let clearly come to all to see that he, the master, went that way. Praise Allah for all the speakers that spoke before me. I pray that Allah listen to the message and have the message speak to your heart, your spirit, touch your spirit. But it is important that we listen to the words of the prophet, because the prophet said, every word I speak is spirit, and you more better take heed. So praise Allah. I'd like to give honor to everything that the chairman gave honor to, and I'd like to give honor to everyone that gave honor. Praise Allah for being emotional. Praise Allah in this day and time, because the instruction is always on time and in due time, and that's where we get the remedies to deal with any situation, any condition that we are faced with. You know, Brother read the chapter of weakness, and the prophet can talk to us, and we got to agree, we got to move on what he said and make adjustments in our lives. So that's what it's all about. Make those adjustments. And the sister read it in chapter 5. Use them tools in the worship of the mind where things are made of thought, where we build up character. Use the tools. The tools are there to be used. Now talk about it. Use it. Because the prophet says it's not in the possession, it is in the use. It is how we use them. And we have to apply these instructions to ourselves, not to nobody else. We got to use those things that make our character symmetrical. You know, I just would like to turn the attention to the Holy Quran and more sons of America. Circle 7, the violence appeared like the prophet to Ali, like now this father God Allah. The great God of the universe, who redeemed man from the sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the high plane of life with his Father God Allah. Like studying attention to page 16, divine instruction on the Holy Prophet, chapter 10. See the state of the duty of Allah and man to the Hindu.
Veneris is the sacred city of the Brahma. And in Veneris, Jesus taught. Rudraka was his host. Rudraka made a feast in honor of his guest, and many high-born Hindu priests and scribes were there. And Jesus said to them, with much delight, I speak to you concerning life, the brotherhood of life. The universal Allah is one, yet He's more than one. All things are one. By the sweet bread of Allah, all life is bound in one. So if you touch a fiber of a little thing, you send a thrill from the center to the outer bound of life. And when you crush beneath your foot the meanest worm, you shake the throne of Allah and cause the sword of life to tremble in the sheep. The birds sing out a song for men, and men vibrate in unison to help the sun sing. The ant constructs his own, the bee instructs them in comb, the spider weaves her web, and flower breathes of them a spirit in their sweet perfumes that gives them strength to form. Now, men and birds and beasts and creeping things are deities made flesh. How dare you kill anything? It is cruelty to make the world right. But men have learned that when they harm a living thing, they harm themselves. They surely would not kill or cause a thing that Allah has made to suffer pain. A lawyer said, I pray to Jesus. Tell who is this Allah you speak about? Where are his priests, his temple, and his shrine? And Jesus said, the Allah speaks about is everywhere. He cannot be compared to walls, nor edged about with bounds of any kind. All people worship Allah the one, but all people see him not alike. The universal Allah is wisdom, will, and love. All men see not the triune Allah. One see him as Allah of light, another Allah of thought, and another Allah of love. A man ideal is his God, and so a man unfold is God unfold. Man God today, tomorrow is not God. The nation of the earth see Allah from different points of view, and so he does not seem the same for everyone. Man named a part of Allah, you see that this to him is all of Allah. And every nation see a part of Allah, and every nation has a name for Allah. You Brahman called Paragon, Egypt is told. There's his name in Greek, and Jehovah is his Hebrew name. But everywhere he is called this cause, the root this heat, and which all things are growing. When men are afraid of Allah and take him for a foe, they dress up other men in fancy garb and call them priests, and charge them to restrain the wrath of Allah by prayer. And when they fail to win his favor by prayer, to buy him off with sacrifices, animals or birds. When man see Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. He goes straight up to him and says, my Father God Allah. And then he lays his hand in the Lord's own hand, and all is well. And this is Allah. You are each one a priest, just for yourself. And sacrifice your blood, Allah does not want. Just give your life in sacrificial service to the all of life, and Allah is pleased. When Jesus had thus said, he stood aside. The people were amazed, but strove among themselves. Some said he's inspired by the holy ground, and others said he is insane, and others said he's obsessed. He speaks as devils speak. But Jesus said not. Among the guests was one, a tiller of the soil, a generous soul, a seeker after truth, who loved the word that Jesus spoke, and Jesus went to him, and his own word. This I've read in entire chapter 10, divine interpretation of the holy prophet. Jesus spake of the unity of the law of man to the Hindu, the father, the son, and daughter of Asia, the nation of all the earth, and we learn to love instead of hate, to go on the higher self and lower self. This united the Holy Quran and Mecca for teaching and something almost to make it serve. But the Holy Quran of Lord Sons of America, know yourself and your father and Allah, that you may learn to love and study hate. Every man needs to worship on his own ground and the uniting of Asia. Praise Allah. The prophet reminding us of the potential that we have within ourselves, because we have the seed that holds it within itself, the home seed of Allah. And that's why I keep telling you over and over and over, Allah and man are one. And just keep reminding yourself, no matter what the situation and condition is, Allah and man are one. And Allah lies within each and every one of them. Because the temple that we talk about is the temple within. See? It's not for our show, but it's the temple within that we have to work on ourselves and use that tool in the work of the mind to build up our character. Because we want to be the representative of Allah and the Prophet at all times. And praise Allah that Brother Turner gave his message about missed that day and came back and people, because the ether and the spirit and the energy that a person brings forth sometimes it affects other people. Because of vibration, you can say it's not the confusion, but it brings the harmony of life. Because that's what we always project. We want to be caught up with the unity of life. See? Every living thing is bound by a cord to every other living thing. So we connected. So we want to be able to shoot that energy forward from the center to the outer bound of life. So we want to touch everybody with that divine principle of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Because there's only one true and divine way that peace will be attained, and that's through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice being taught universal to all nations and all lands. Every nation is seeking peace. Every nation is seeking peace. They may not think that they're seeking peace because it creates a lot of confusion, but they know that a register is made every thought, word, and deed, every action that they do food for, they are accountable for it. Don't think because that punishment is delayed that the harm of the world is weakened. It's already registered. It's ready, like I said, people are accountable for what they put out there. So like the whole thing that you want to do, you want to stand firm on your divine instructions. And you want to follow to what? The prophet, the destiny which is not uncertain nor unknown. Because we love our prophet, and we want to follow the prophet, the destiny which is not uncertain nor unknown. Because like I said, faith is what? The surety of the omnipotence of Allah and man. The certainty that man will reach what? The epic life. In order to reach the epic life, you got to follow divine instructions. If you follow the divine instructions, you always be on that path. You stay on that path. And you don't have to worry about the foes seek to do your harm and all that stuff. You don't have to worry about that because you got what? Cherubim and seraphim that rule the station of the sun, and the spirit of the mighty Allah who is the solar star, our protector, and our guide, and they will need to victory. So you want to be, it's always been, when you look at the battle, there's always been a few against the many. But those who are with Allah, they're successful. Because nothing can touch them because they have the force and the energy and all the spirit of the ancestors and our forefathers with them. Yeah, we deal with the word that we see and the word that we don't see. But it all goes together. People behind the veil, they're doing what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the same thing we're doing here. So just imagine on the high plane, they're doing the same thing they do. Calling on Allah. Continue to work with the Egypt of those native planes. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to know that you're not alone. All power in heaven and earth is mine to you. I give all power in heaven and earth. And that is the thought of Allah, thoughts of Allah are infinite. Then I may be up by time, so the things that concern with time begin and end. So like I said, we deal with the illusion of the world. You use those words of the Lord, so know the illusion of the world. You use those highest of no Allah, know the thing that cannot pass away. So you want to be able to focus, you want to be able to put your hand in Allah's hand, and all is well. You don't need nobody, nobody to be in between you. You're your own priest, just for yourself. And sacrifice of blood, Allah does not want. Just keep your life for what? Sacrificial service to the all of life, and Allah is pleased. Praise Allah that He pleased with our message. Praise Allah that He used us as a tool, as above, so below. So praise Allah that He give us the opportunity again to get it right. to put it back in motion again. To be, treat our brothers and sisters that we want, the way we want to treat ourselves. Look for the best in others, get the best that's in you. That's what it's going to tell us. Look for the best in others, getting the best that's in you. So like I say, we let everybody work out their own lives up. We want to extend our hands to our brothers and sisters whenever we're able to aid and assist them. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. We want to extend our hands to our brother, man, or sister, woman, and everything else. We want to be able to make sure that we are staying in tune. We want to stay in tune with that the every will. The will of man and the will of the law are one, the resurrection is a fact. We want to tune ourselves to that the epic will. So praise the Lord for allowing us the opportunity to be able to share this message to all our brothers and sisters. Praise the Lord that we open our hearts, the windows of our hearts, and receive these messages and make it part of every part. Use the hammer to pound it in and make it part of every part. Pound it in, that's what we're doing. On Sunday we pound it in. The more you hear it, the more it becomes part of every part. And like I said, if you study the instruction of the prophet, you see the manifestation of the words being manifested as you go in the edges of the house. Sometimes probably was laughing at you as well. He's a bad human drama out there. But we part of it, if we want to be able to help it, we want to help each other along the way. Because our brothers and sisters, we are connected to the world, the whole human family. Because the prophet said he can lead you back to your higher power. He bended the broken wires and he leads you back to your higher power. So praise Allah that we connect us back. And we can rewire ourselves again and be in tune with the universal order of things. That's what it's all about. The prophet came to unite the Most High. It's very important. We want to unite the Most High. So we got to unite within each and every one of us. So the fortune of our Father, we typically support the whole race, and the scale we continue to all in your love to each other. You see? In your love to each other, like I said. Love is a unified force. Love is our first principle. Allah is love. Only the Savior of the world is love. And Jesus, son of Mary, comes to manifest that love to men. So praise Allah that we follow in the footsteps like the brother was speaking earlier. The possibility of what we have and what we can do and what we are. We are made in the image and after the likeness of God, Allah. So we got to be able to always try to show the possibility of what is and what was and what ever will be. Praise Allah, that's that. The chairman for calling me, I'd like to say peace.
Oh, the blood,
Oh, the blood,
oh, the blood,
oh, the blood,
oh, the blood done inside my name.
oh, the blood,
Oh, the blood, oh, the blood done inside my name. Oh, the blood, oh, the blood, oh, the blood done inside my name. Oh, the blood done inside my name. Drew Ali told me and he showed me. Oh, the blood done inside my name. Drew Ali told me and he showed me. Oh, the blood done inside my name. Drew Ali told me and he showed me. Oh, the blood done inside my name. Oh, the blood done inside my name. I got the blood, oh, the blood, oh, the blood, oh, the blood, oh, the blood done inside my name. Oh, the blood, oh, the blood, oh, the blood done inside my name. Oh, the blood, oh, the blood done inside my name. Oh, the blood done sign my name. Islam,
Islam.
praise Allah. I'd like to give honors to our dear brother, Brother C. Ferguson Neal, Assistant Chairman of Moore Science Club number 34, for his reading, for his demonstration, and for his evaluation. The brother read from the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 10. Jesus spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. There the brother read from the entirety of the chapter. I'd like to give him honors and thank him once again for his clearness and his power, his clarity and his sincerity, as well as his message. Praise be to Allah. Thank you once again, dear brother. Truly. At this time, we most like to call on the last speaker of the evening. Before I call her forth, please give her your undivided attention. I'd like to call on the Grand Sheikh of Moore Science Club number 34, Sister C. Seals Either, after her song.
We're marching.
We're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. Now if you want to know where we're at, that beautiful city of love, into the holy city, more much divine. That beautiful city of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. It's will have a pure heart, then you will regret it. That beautiful city of love. You won't make it in the Mecca, 'cause the angels protect it. That beautiful city of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. Is where the physical part of man was first born. That beautiful city of love. At the east gate, they're sharing with the flaming soul. That beautiful city of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. Praise Allah, Drew Ali, please take my hand. That beautiful city of love. Now the ancient name is Eden, down in Canaan land. That beautiful city of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
Islam,
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 Islam.
Islam.
Happy Holy Day.
Happy Holy Day.
Well, first I rise and I give praise to the great God Allah, the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. To him alone belongs worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praise. I say, praise Allah. Father God, Allah, so merciful, full of mercy, so all-knowing, omnipotent, sent us a prophet. Prophet do high honors, born in the state of North Carolina, 1886. if that's not the place and location that would get the brunt of what was going on with our people, to be able to grow that concept of the concrete, that usually stifles most flowers, but that rose that blossoms through. Praise Allah for our holy and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to my prophet for bringing me out of that darkness that I didn't realize I was in, because it was a little dim. I could see through it, thinking that you know what's going on, and then you realize that it's not dim. You needed that marvelous light, illuminates it all. You get to see the areas that you might not have noticed had a spot on it, like that white shirt. Until you get into the sun, you might not have noticed it may have had a little smudge on it because the lighting in the house doesn't illuminate the same way. I give honors to my prophet, reminding us that the work is to be done within. The only devil for which man was be redeemed is self, the lower self. Reminding us that, man is the truth and falsehood strangely mixed. But guess what? When that fight happens, when North gets in there, starts throwing its jabs, it's all right, Morris, because you know what, man, is truth abides. North's gonna go down. I give honors to the forerunner of the prophet, Brother Marcus Garvey. Up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You know how many nations are out here that don't need people telling them what to do? Why do you? Those are the sentiments. Those are the thoughts. Those are the reminders of the greatness within, not discouragement. It's reminding you of who you are, even though we know the road has been rough along the way. We know that the pavement may not have been laid as smooth just yet. Not as smooth as we may like it, but compared to where it was, it's a beautiful foundation. I want to give honors to all the divine prophets of Allah, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and those that paved the way in those times, because we know purity must pave the way for love. I give honors to all the past supreme grand advisors and moderators of the Moorish Science Temple of America in succession, Brother C. Kirkman Bey, Brother F. Nelson Bey, and Brother J. Blakely Bey. I give honors to our past Grand Sheikh and moderator, Brother R. Love Eel, and to our present Grand Sheikh and moderator, Brother R. Jones Bey, and to his assistant, Brother A. Hopkins Bey. I give honors to our Grand National Chairman, Brother T. Hopkins Bey, and to his assistant, Brother J. Gibbs Ill. I give honors to our Grand National Secretary, Sister W. Wright Bey, and to her assistant, Sister A. Ravenel Bey. I give honors to our Grand National Treasurer, Sister S. Jones Bey, and to her assistant, Sister P. Smith Bey. I give honors to our Grand National Financial Secretary, Sister N. Johnson Bey, and of course to our Grand National Mufti, Brother J. Frazier Bey. I give honors to our Grand Governor here in the state of New York, Brother D. Clark Eel, and to his assistant, Brother A. Gaines Eel. I give honors to all of the membership at Temple number 34. I thought about that because that's where I started, right? You walking through that door, you starting as a visitor. You walk in through that door, you come in and you come in as an observer. Some may come in from different perspectives of observation. Some may come in where they may come with a little bit of information or looking to see if anyone else knows the information that they know. And so they're looking to see it as soon as they walk through the door. There are some that come in and like, I don't know much, but this sounds great. There are others that's come in that's like, listen, I know some things, but I'm going to empty out that cup. The cup is going to be my foundation, but I'm not going to pour my own fluids in. I'm going to come in and see what's here to offer. I have my foundation and I'm going to see what's there. And there are different stages in which we may find ourselves as we go into any school of thought. Even if you enroll yourself into college, there are different stages. There are many that graduate from high school, but they still may need to take a remedial course before they get into math. And it doesn't mean that they'll excel any less than their counterparts. My point in this is the concept of growth and development. And it almost never comes in a manner in which we want it, right? Or we may even ask for it. And what do I think of when I think of that? Think about being a member when you're first just figuring out how to get to the temple, maybe just not knowing the location. Some of the stresses that just come with just trying to figure out the first time visit. Then think about the commute. Think about maybe getting ready, getting dressed, thinking about what you want to wear. Just the first day visit. There's so many stages to that. And then once you become more comfortable, once maybe let's say you don't have a tire that you feel is the best attire, and you're taking this seriously, and so now you want to make adjustments and you want to make changes. Those are some thoughts. But then you may think about those that have other thoughts that are like, okay, the finance, it may take a bit too much to truly commute with the budget that I'm on right now. And so I haven't, because I do want to visit, but I realize now this is this amount of time, I haven't necessarily acquired that. There are different stages. There's some that's like, hey, my work schedule, I would love to come this day, but I can't do it because of my work schedule. And I think about all the different things that are surrounded around us, things that we need to continue and to survive in the flesh, as we would say, right? That can impede on our spirituality and where we place it in our growth, development, and in our lives. So seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, right? And all these things shall be added unto thee. That concept of the character again. I just want to give honors to all of those who were able to speak before me. I want to give honors to all of the sheiks of Temple Number 34, all of the divine ministers of Temple Number 34, all of my brothers and sisters around the nation. And the thought in that is that you come into a family. And if we know anything about a family, we know that you have everything from A to Z within, whether you know them or not. There's much wisdom to be learned amongst the descendants of Africa. Within that, what are some of those wisdoms? I was thinking about the concept of the social needs, right? Social, that branches off into so many things. How do we communicate to one another? How do we receive information? When someone is speaking, are we able to be still enough to hear what they're saying before we think about what we want to respond to in order to be just with receiving the message? These things are a challenge. And we can all say and understand, but to practice it, the practice. And some will achieve these things faster than others. Some have already achieved them. Some have solved much harder than you have, you men who look at them with scorn. I look at the youth and I think about how much they've mastered that degree. And then it comes a point where, they now become more expressive. But there's a stage where children, they know what makes an adult maybe upset or displeased, or they may, they have an idea of what's going on. They just can learn how to just, maybe be quiet for the sake of not having to deal with any, punishment or repercussions, or, I don't want to lose my phone. I don't want time out. I don't want these things. And so they learn how to process it, even though they're having feelings of their own. And I think about the honor that's due to all the stages of life that we go through. And within that, I'm going to turn your attention to the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, found on page number 5. After the creation and fall of man, we go to chapter number 2, Education of Mary and Elizabeth in Zoan, Egypt. The son of Herod, Archelaus, reigned in Jerusalem. He was a selfish, cruel king. He put to death all of those who did not honor him. He called in council all the wisest, the infant claimant of his throne. The council said that John and Jesus both were dead. Then he was satisfied. Just take a moment and think about that. Just a king, somebody who's in a position of power and authority. You get everybody that you know, the wisest of the wise, and you ask the next person who would step in line that could pose you any form of threat, what's going on there? So you're asking about babies and whether or not there's the transition has been made or enforced. You gather the wise, and that was the question. So many things that could be going on for the nation, for the people, but that was the question. So it speaks to that form of initial vanity, power, authority, control, rule, being the focus over life. And I thought to myself, this is the beginning of the education of Mary and Elizabeth in Zoan, Egypt. Well, welcome to motherhood. Welcome to fatherhood. Welcome, look at the parents. Just that message. A joyous time, celebrating babies, and now this is the message that goes out. Picture that. Extra, extra. Read all about it. We're coming for the claimants, the infants. That had to be something that was a heavy weight for all of the parents. Maybe even those who may have been forced to carry out the duty. But there's a state of mind and a condition of the heart and a place you have to be to place power, authority over life. Now it continues. It says, now Joseph, Mary, and their son were in Egypt and Zone, and John was with his mother in the Judean hills. All right, so they're in two different spots, right? So Joseph, Mary, and baby Jesus, we're in Egypt, in Zone, Egypt. And John was with his mother now, and they were over in Judea, in the Judean hills. Elihu and Salome sent messengers in haste to find Elizabeth and John. They found them. They brought them to Zone. All right, so now word went out. Elihu and Salome took it very seriously, right? And so I was thinking about this also. If you think about Mary, Mary was a lot younger than Elizabeth. Elizabeth was said to be an older woman, much older. And so that trip, the travel, the commute, what may have needed to be done in order to ensure that she was able to commute safely after having a child, the things that may have gone into this, the consideration, and the fact that Elihu and Salome, as you would say now, they had connects. They could put word out on the street and get information moving, despite being in different regions. And so that spoke to, in itself, something very important. They had trust. They had people they could trust. And they had those that cared, valued, respected them enough to carry out an important message in order to save the lives. Thought about that. There's so much in this chapter. It continues. I'm going to continue on the top of page number 6. It says, now Mary and Elizabeth were marveling much because of their deliverance. Can you imagine? 2 different age ranges. The fact that, they didn't know what was going on truly, had to wait for word to go out in haste, like, quick, hurry up and get this out there. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And then to note that they made it to the same location with the babies. And like, wow, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, whew, wow, like, you're here, Elizabeth, Mary, if you could just think about their meeting. Elihu said, it is not strange. There are no happenings. Law governs all events. From olden times, it was ordained that you should be with us, and in this sacred school be taught. And so within that message right there, he stopped them, right? And wanted them to not go into aspects of superstition or not just think that it was just like, Elihu and Salome has connects, right? They're like, no, he's like, no. Get that part out of your mind. This is ordained. This is divine here. You were supposed to be here. It's not Elihu and Salome's connects with her people. The reason why we may have even had these connections with the people were just so that you would be able to get to this point. From olden times, it was ordained that you should be with us in this sacred school, be taught. So the understanding that no matter how it was going to happen, this is what was supposed to happen. So don't marvel at the deliverance. Focus in on the importance of why you were delivered. It continues, it says, Elihu and Salome took Mary and Elizabeth out to the sacred grove nearby where they want to teach. So now they're sitting in a garden. Different levels of, different vibrations there, different things that are there, the environment. And when you think about a garden and you think about usually in those times and what the fields were rich with as far as greenery and things like that, very different They even speak to levels of oxygen and like heightened levels of oxygen, levels of clarity, right? Also relaxing for the body after going through going through certain things. You might need a little, a little relaxation, right? Now but you're coming in a place that's serene to still learn. Because yes, we need you to calm down. We need you to relax. But remember, we sent those messages in haste. So the time is now. It continues. Elihu said to Mary and Elizabeth, you may esteem yourselves thrice blessed, for you are chosen mothers of long promised sons. So chosen. And as we note in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, where it speaks and it states that these are the 18 missing years out of your holy Bible, right? And that would be found on the top of page number 32. And it talks about the events occurred before he was 30 years of age. Now, within that, there were a lot of people chosen in the Bible that had to wrestle with their choosing. Jeremiah, you had even Noah, he had to build an ark and try to convince everyone around him. He still had to do the work, even though he was chosen. He still had to build. He still had to get the animals. He still had to deal with the strife of his family and the neighbors and everybody else. And in those thoughts, I just wanted to connect again. Chosen, but they still had their work to do. Now it continues. It says, who are ordained to lay a solid rock, a sure foundation stone, on which the temple of the perfect man shall rest, a temple that shall never be destroyed. And so within that, the message that comes through this, ordained, again, divine job. Now that laying of a solid rock, a sure foundation stone. So that's like that initial slab, the one that guarantees that whatever's built on there, at least whatever's built on there will have a safe, healthy, balanced, structured start. Think about Jesus as the carpenter. He was a foundation. Jesus was working with his father Joseph. The foundation builders. That's what the carpenter's work is, the foundation. Then you get the bricklayers that'll come and lay around that brick and everything else, lay the brick around the foundation, but the foundation is the core. You can strip everything off of everything down, but you wanted to strip it down to the foundation. You want to start knocking down the foundation. You want to strip it down to the foundation. And even if you have to replace the foundation, you have to do it strategically in parts so that everything doesn't cave in. And so within that thought, it continues and it says, a temple that should never be destroyed. And I just want to highlight that. So that foundation, that sure foundation stone. I don't know if the most remember there used to be commercials that talked about the deodorant Sure, and they used to raise their arm. Are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah, that's certainty. The certainty. So you have to lay down this path. Consider thou art a parent, the importance of thy trust. The being thou hast produced, it is thy duty to support. Duty. Not if you like, not the possibility that you might support them. It's your duty. And then it talks about this, and it's placed in this heavy role, right? Mary and Elizabeth, listen here now. This is what you got to do, that sure foundation stone. A temple that shall never be destroyed. Now it continues, and it talks about that measurement of time. We measure time by cycle ages. And the gate to every age we deem a milestone in the journey of the race. So that's what we deem it. So time never was when man was not. But man is. We're here in the flesh. And so we measure time by cycle ages. Also, if you look at the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, the pinnacle of wisdom, it's also talking about time and the use of it. Because we need it on the plane of things may manifest. The sun is not Allah, though its noble ascendant. But we also recognize that we have a crescent moon and a star, Morris. Praise Allah. Continues. It says, an age had passed. The gate unto another age flies open at the age touch of time. This is the preparation age of the soul, the kingdom of Emmanuel, of Allah in man. Information. We talk about these secret lessons, right? Tells you when it's happening, from where. What is that time when the age flew? What happened when the age flies, when the gate unto another age flies open? Where did it go? You're in the preparation age of the soul. That's what it was talking about here. The preparation age of the soul. Now we know when it comes to the soul, we've got divine instructions on that too. Praise Allah for our holy and divine prophet. We know thinking, understanding, reasoning, and willing, they're not the soul. They're its actions, but they are not its essence. But these are the actions. So now we have a little bit to work with while we're thinking about the preparation age of the soul. The kingdom of Emmanuel, of Allah and man, building that temple of perfected man. That temple that shall never be destroyed. Now it continues. It says, "And these, your sons, will be the first to tell the news and teach the gospel of goodwill to men and peace on earth." Whew, no pressure, right? Your sons are gonna be the first ones to do this. So make sure that temple that should never be destroyed is that got that sure foundation stone. That solid rock is laid. So don't marvel, Mary and Elizabeth. It's not strange. There are no happenings. Lord governs all events. You are chosen mothers of long promised sons. And these your sons will be the first to tell the news and teach the gospel of goodwill to men and peace on earth. A mighty work is theirs. For carnal men want not the light. They love the dark. And when the light shines in the dark, they comprehend it not. We call these sons revealers of the light, but they must have the light before they can reveal the light. And you must teach your sons and set their souls on fire with love and holy zeal, and make them conscious of their mission to the sons of men. And I'm pausing just there. In these messages, these sons are being raised to teach other sons of men, to continue on these messages and bring off to continue throughout all of life. They are being equipped to bring forth these messages by their mothers. By their mothers. When the prophet talks about that deeper appreciation for womanhood, if you love Jesus, then you recognize what was going on in his life. John the Baptist, his father made a great sacrifice. And he still was being raised by his mother. I don't know if the boys, could think about what it is in older age, just to have a child, to carry a child. Just look at some of the things that, may be gone through in general. Think about some of the ways that emotionally, mentally you may feel as you're waiting and, just waiting, being patient. Think about Sarah and her experience. But the great things that came through these experiences, and talking about the mother being the first teacher. So as you may find, you may have had a strife and a strain with your own mother. As you may have found that you have a strife and a strain as a mother. You may have strife and a strain as a father handling the mother of the children in your heart and in your mind, or maybe in your household, or even while you're at work, whatever, handling those things, those emotions, those feelings, those thoughts. Remember, it is not strange. There are no happenings. Lord governs all events. From olden times, it was ordained that you should be with us, and in the sacred school be taught. Now, being chosen didn't make Noah build the ark. That was his will. And if we're not careful, and the instant we willeth and the instant we willeth not, we could look at the clock, next thing you know, it's noon and you end up on the racks. Balancing oneself, remembering one's duty. Remember that line uniting divinity and matter. Behold, a part of Allah Himself within thee. Dare not descend to evil or to meanness, because then you stepped off your path. The work that's here for you to do. Listen, evil is not requisite to man. Neither is vice necessary to be tolerated. Don't get delayed on the way. Do what you're supposed to do. Stick to the laws of the prophet. This is a spiritual movement as well, Moors. That means you have moral responsibilities. You have spiritual responsibilities. You have a duty to your soul. You have a duty to mankind. It is thy duty to be a friend to mankind. That's what the public is unstable and ungrateful, though. But it is thy duty to be a friend to mankind. It doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean that you may initially see the worth. And this is why it's important to keep your hand in Allah's hand. Giving honors to the Prophet immediately after you give praise to Allah, to remind you where you're grounded. If you want to serve Allah, that speaks within the heart. We know who we have to serve in the whole lineup. You want to serve your kin, your near of kin, the stranger at your gate, the foe that seeks to do you harm. It's kind of easier to serve a no kin if we at work. If you're in a certain place and you're getting paid for it. But these are places coming from the space of the heart when no one's watching. Being mindful of the character within. And that part on social duties. We have to be aware of where we're responding from. Are we responding from a place of emotions driven by hurt, driven by upset that we can validate and utilize in a form of punishment, connivance, or mistreatment? Or are we looking for the best? This doesn't mean that peace can exist without justice. Gotta be an imbalance. I can't just ask if my daughter, Sister M. Serrano Bay, threw a rock knowingly and hit someone in the back of the head. I can just ask her, oh, she's just a child, It'd be nice if the person's like, well, I know she's young. She did. There still has to be some structure, some discipline, some guidance, and some redirecting. That person might need to still go to the hospital, and someone has to pay for that. And as much as I love her, the discipline that I'm gonna give is not gonna. It should not be from a place of upset about how much I have to pay for the injury. Those should be reminders as to reasons of why you need to control yourself, because you have to pay for the consequences of your actions later. But it should be the reminder that in those moments you can make a split decision that can change the course of your life and someone else's life forever. Our prophet is truly a prophet. Our prophet is truly a prophet. If you doubt that our prophet's a prophet, watch his prophecies. First, you got to get to know him. And by the way, these lessons are for all those who love Jesus. For all those that desire to know the truth about his life, works, and teachings. This is for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus. I'd like to say praise Allah, praise Allah, praise Allah for sending us a holy and divine prophet, for structuring an organization that allows for us to be able to gather, come together, communicate, exchange, form under his divine covenant, form under these five divine highest principles known to man: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I ask that Allah continues to open up the windows of our hearts, smile behind our tears, and light our countenance with joy, and fill our hearts with joy and peace. Love and peace is what we need in this world, Moors. But through his laws that he have instituted for the governing of all the world, that's the way we're going to get it. I ask that Allah continues to watch over us all, our families, watch over us in moments when we know no one else may be nearby, but we may just need it. I ask that we get that reminder that we need to know that we are not on this path and on this journey alone, to remind us of that voice that speaks within. I ask that the Moors continue to look at what the Prophet said. Make sure you get your 90-day food supply, Moors. Even if you got to go down again to the pantries and stock up on dry goods, look for the things that say best buy as opposed to the ones with an actual expiration date on it. Make sure you get your waters. Of course, boil your water. Make sure you get your waters, Moors. Make sure as the time is coming toward warmer weather that you're checking on the seniors, neighborhoods, and the family nearby. Just check in. There are cooling centers nearby if you don't have your own air conditioning. Check into the things that are there in the community, because I guarantee you, if you're in need, there's always a resource and there's a way. Communicate. And if you don't want to communicate, just look it up. Don't allow yourselves to suffer unnecessarily, Moors. Prophet said, don't burden his Moors. That includes you burdening yourselves. May Allah truly be pleased. And once again, Moors, happy, happy, holy day. And with that, I'll say peace.
Peace.
Can't
Thank him enough, can't serve him enough, can't lift him up too high for men to see. You don't know how good Allah's been to me.
He didn't have to wake
Me this morning, but he did. Oh, yes, he did. He didn't have to give me my child, but he did. Oh, yes, he did. Can't thank him enough, can't serve him enough, can't lift him up too high for men to see. You don't know how good Allah's been to me. You don't know how good Allah's been to me. You don't know how good Allah's been to me. Islam?
Islam.
Praise Allah. I'd like to give honor to our dear sister, Sister Cecile Zeal, the Grand Sheikh of Samorstan, Sub number 34, for her reading, her demonstration, and for her vibration. The sister read from the Divine Instructions from the Holy Prophet, Chapter 2, Education of Mary and Elizabeth in Zone Egypt. There she read from Instruction 1 to Instruction 17. I'd like to give honors to our dear sister Grand Sheikh and thank her once again for her clearness and her power, her clarity and her sincerity, as well as her message. Praise be to Allah and honors to you, dear sister Grand Sheikh, once again, true. At this time, dear Moors, before we lower the meeting in the Secretary's time, I'd like to turn your attention to the warning, proclamation from the Prophet Muhammad Ali. Just pay attention to the Prophet's words. Islam?
Islam.
January 15th, 1929. Prophet warns all Muslims, governors, ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans, it causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, and freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement, founded by the prophet, noble Druala, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right.
The prophet, therefore, was sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet for the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Thus a reading from the proclamation by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Peace.
Hey.
At this time, numerous meetings now been lowered in the Secretary's time. It's the opportunity for the Muslims to hear the announcements that we have going on within our nation, as well as within our state, as well as locally. It's also the opportunity for our members to contribute any dues and assessments, as well as our guests and our members to contribute any donations. Praise be to Allah. At this time, I'd like to give honors to our dear sister, Secretary Sister J. Jordan Eve, Secretary of Morris Science number 34, as well as the chairman of our Sisters Auxiliary, as well as our assistant Sunday school instructor. Our dear sister J. Jordan Eve, I know the sister mentioned that she was not available earlier this evening, so I just want to give her honors for all the information that she shares and what she has been able to do. I do see the sister is unmuted. Islam, Sister J. Jordan Eve?
Islam, Brother Chairman. Islam, happy holy day.
Happy Holy Day.
First, let me rise and give praise to Allah, honors to our holy prophet, and to give honors to everything that you gave honors to at the opening of this meeting. Just a few announcements. I've gone ahead and placed them into the chat for those of you who are online. Just a reminder, if you would like to pay your dues and assessments or make a donation, you can also utilize Cash App, PayPal, and Zelle. If you're not in the temple, you can attend our temple meetings if you'd like to pay your dues, donations, and assessments using cash. Additionally, our Cash App is $MSTA34. And if your handle is not readily identifiable, please put your full name into the note section so we can know what you are sending in the payment for. Just a reminder that we will come together again for our Sunday school or Quran class. That's on Sundays from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Same Zoom line, same password. Additionally, we have our civics class that we offer every other Wednesday, Civics Wednesdays, from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m., again with the same Zoom number and passcode. We had our civics class this past Wednesday, and so we will not have it again for another 2 weeks. But you'll see a civics flyer post closer to when we do have the class. I also wanted to remind them that if you have questions that you would like to pose to get answers to, you can do so on our question and answer line. It is the national conference call every Thursday from 7:30 p.m. to about 8:30. That is a dial-in number. It is a conference call held by dial-in. And again, the information is in the chat. If you have questions, you can come and pose them there or ask them there. And you can hear from the Moors across the nation, as well as choose to just listen in. That's fine as well. Just a reminder about the last event that I think I have here from, it's the Camp Out, and that is going to be held on July 3rd through July 5th. It is being held at Morris National Home number 1, and you do need to register if you plan on attending. If you have never camped out before and this is your first experience, or you prefer to not camp outside, if you have an RV, you need to let them know if you want to utilize that. There's limited space for that. Additionally, if you do not want to sleep outside and would prefer to stay in a hotel nearby, you can do that and then just travel to Morris National Home number 1 of the colony to participate in the activities. If you have any questions or about the announcements, do not hesitate to reach out to me or any one of the sheiks. Additionally, we are on Facebook and on Instagram under Moorish Science Temple NO.34. And we have a Facebook chat where we do also place the announcements and any other announcements or information that comes up during the week before our holiday meeting. So if you had any questions, you can also reach out to us there. With that, I'll say peace. Peace and love, Morris.
Peace, peace. Praise be to Allah. Honest to you, dear Sister J. Jordan, I appreciate you, your readiness, and all of the effort and all the work that you put in keeping Morris abreast of false information and informed of the proper ways to contribute our dues and assessments. Praise be to Allah. And once again, thank you, dear Sister J. Jordan. At this time, we most like to give Morris an opportunity to share any thoughts, any comments, any questions from the announcements. I do see a hand from our sister Grandchikas, and I do notice that there is a guest on the line. At this time, I'd like to call on our Grandchikas before I call on dear brother Thomas Cecil Zil. So
It's
mute
fine. I'll
yourself.
go up for the order for you to be able to give the announcements while I do
Praise, praise Allah. Thank you, dear sister Grandchikas. Islam. I'd just like to recognize brother D. Goodneal. Dear brother, I'm going to give you a chance to unmute. I'm not sure if you can or are able to, but if you're able to, just introduce yourself to the Moors and let us know your connection to the Moor Science Temple of America. Islam?
Islam.
Islam.
Can you hear me, brother?
Yes.
Islam, yes. I'm Brother D. Goodneal. I live about 35 minutes outside of Moorish National Home number 1. I am a proud member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Next month will be 35 years. Unfortunately, I was incarcerated for 39. I've been out now for 10 days, still trying to get used to the cell phones. But I'm thankful to be somewhere where I can attend more than one meeting, in person, it's online, and I'm thankful to be able to connect. Just one thing, she said 7:30 to 8:30, but I had got a paper saying it was 6:30 to 7:30 on Thursday. So it's 7:30 to 8:30, not 6:30 to 7:30, correct?
That's right. It may be different time zones for different calls. So maybe
Oh yeah. Okay, well, I'm in Virginia, Morris National Home number 130, about 35 kilometers away.
Yeah, so 7:30 p.m. for the 7:30 call.
Okay.
For the day call.
All right. Well, glad to be a part of it. I've been a part of 14 institutional branch temples, 11 of them as its leader, and most always the Sunday school instructor. And just for the record, I don't play. If you're not with what the prophet sent, you going that way. You ain't gonna stay. You're gonna do what the prophet said, or Rome gonna send you that way. So you can rest assured that my mind is on the same wavelength as all the Moors there. Islam?
Islam. Praise Allah. And honestly, dear brother, and happy holy day. Truly.
Thank you, brother. Praise Allah.
Wow, praise Allah. I appreciate your vibration, dear brother. I saw you on the line singing the songs as well, so I appreciate your spirit.
Yeah.
Amongst you, brother. Truly honors to you and all your efforts in Moorish Science Temple of America. It's divine and natural.
Thank you, bro. Praise Allah.
Peace. Appreciate you. Oh, apologies to the brothers tonight. The screen here. There we go. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Once again, I'd like to give honors to our dear brother, Brother D. Goodneal. At this time, I'd like to call on our Grandchikas, Sister Cecil Zil, and I see a hand from Brother K. Turnabay. Psalm, Sister Grandchikas.
I'm over here for Brother K. Turnabay. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Is Psalm Brother K. Turnabay?
Islam, I yield for the Chikas, Grandchikas.
Praise Allah. Honors to you, dear brother. Is Psalm, Sister Grandchikas? It's on?
It's always an honor to have our brothers and our sisters focus on uplifting themselves. And I find that no matter the challenges and the things that we face in life, again, it's ordained. These things are ordained. And some of the trials and the tribulations and the things that we face in our life only make us stronger. I remember those statements, without a test, there's no testimony, right? And so there's so much that is afforded to us as a Moorish nation with the wealth of knowledge and information and wisdom that we attain. So that in chapter 1, the creation and fall of man, where it talks about we're going to be made strong. This is the concept of those buffeting that we have to go through, those trials and temptations manifold to be the strength of Allah manifest. So, just honest to our brother, brother, you came on, you looking sharp, you got your tie on, look like you got a fresh cut, you look like you came ready, like the prophet said. The prophet said, tell his boys to look their best. So it looked like the brother came and got himself up and ready. So honors to you, dear brother, and happy holy day to you and to all Muslims all over the world. Praise Allah. Moors, I was gonna give and of course another update. I know I had last let the Moors know when I had the fall downstairs. I had the shoulder surgery, I had the knee surgery. I have another follow up coming up next week. I'm hoping to hear what's going on. I'm hoping that within 2 weeks, as soon as they tell me it's a go, where I can actually sit in a position for over an hour with my leg down. Their worries are the swelling, the pooling, and any type of blood clots. Because usually, if you're not able to, if it's not elevated, it's not icing. So without the pain or anything like that, it's still the concern of what would happen within that with what gravity does, the science part of it more. So praise Allah, praise Allah, praise Allah. I just wanted to keep the Moors updated, but I miss you. I miss being at the temple. I miss being able to just see the Moors. I know you're gathered. So honestly, you all, and that took the time, that was able to make it out to the temple. Honest to you for the work that it takes to get ready, get dressed, the commute, the public that you deal with on the way to get there. Just honest to you all, and honest to you all that are logged on with us today as well. Keeping your internet rolling so that you're able to come on. That's not a small feat either. Making sure you're charged up and logged in. Honest to you all, honest to your families, and of course, this is the month of June. Here I go with honors to the youth. I know the nation around the world, there's a celebration of what they call Juneteenth, but we know what the prophet told us was necessary for the redemption of our people and what wasn't. But we give honors, and we are happy when our people are happy. We are happy even if they're not recognizing who they are and what they are. If there's a condition that comes about that allows them to hopefully open up their mind a little bit more to be able to receive the information that we have. There's still much wisdom to be learned amongst the descendants of Africa. So I just give honors, to all of those who are working on themselves, all of those working on the uplifting of fallen humanity more. And again, the weather's changing. Make sure you stay hydrated. Try to get out there, get a little bit of the sunshine vitamin, even if it means that you just got to maybe just run downstairs really quickly in front of your building, in front of your house, just get yourself a little sunshine vitamin. It's a real thing. It's called winter blues because the sun is gone longer, right? As far as the exposure to the earth and to our body. And us being melanated individuals, our body relies so much more to produce so much. So our vitamin D levels are almost always deficient during the winter months. And so, it plays a large role in depression, it plays a large role in anxiety. And so please don't forsake the fact that health is to the body what honesty is to the soul. So vitamin deficiencies can mimic psychiatric illnesses. And this is not something that I want you to take just from me, Morris. Take the time and you can look this up. There are a lot of things that we may see in our communities that can be just from a lack of nourishment. And I'm not saying I'm not a doctor. I am not a doctor, and I'm not attempting to diagnose anyone. But allow yourselves to note, get a health check. I'm not saying whether you take medicine or don't take medicine. That's not what I'm speaking about. But we rely on science. Allow your numbers to be ran. Allow to know what's going on in your body. Get yourself a little blood pressure kit if you note that sometimes you might have more headaches in the month than usual. At least you track and get to see your own baseline. You get to see your own normal. So take care of yourselves, pour into yourselves. Just note that I truly love you all. Truly, truly, truly am grateful. Because without these experiences that we have together on this path, the growth that we attain, we afford it to one another. So may Allah truly be pleased. May Allah truly be pleased. And once again, Morris, happy holy day. Peace.
Peace. Happy holy day. Praise be to Allah and honor to you, dear sister Grand Sheikis, and pray that Allah will continue to protect and guide you as you go on your journey, as you heal. And we love and miss you as well, and look forward to seeing you return to the temple, and give honor to each and every one of the Moors for where they are in their upliftment and their unfoldment. As the Prophet teaches us, the virtues are allotted to various stations. So may we esteem as thou art, and then we'll be near the pinnacle of wisdom. Praise be to Allah and honor to you, dear sister Grand Sheikis, once again, sending the highest vibrations in your direction. Islam, Brother K. turn it back.
Islam, praises and honors already given. I want to say congratulations, honors to the brother for making his transition. And I pray that it continues to be a healthy transition, because we know the prophet said the world is unstable and ungrateful. Keep that in mind and never, ever let go of this gospel plow. Praise Allah, praise Allah, praise Allah. Peace and love, Moss.
Peace, peace. Praise be to Allah and honor to you, dear brother K. Turner Bay, truly. You know, it's very, very powerful. The Prophet talks about it as the public is unstable and ungrateful. So we have so much to worry about, but not just worry about, but to consider when we're out amongst the public and how their vibrations connect with ours, not only affect ours, but connect with ours. Praise be to Allah and honor to you, dear brother K. Turner Bay. Truly, truly, truly appreciate you, dear brother. At this time, I just want to give any other Muslims an opportunity to contribute any comments, questions, or any other announcements that they'd like to share. Feel free to raise a hand. Islam, brother K. Turner Bay.
Islam, pardon. Now I forgot to tell the Moors to remember to get out and vote. It is an election going on. Early elections is over, I believe, this Sunday. The official election day is I believe, Tuesday, the 23rd. You know, these are local officials running for office. Please, you know, do your due diligence in their background. You know, so we are conscious of the decisions we are making for ourselves and the shaping of our own condition. You know, peace.
Peace. Praise be to Allah and your brother K. Turner Bay for that thought. Absolutely. This upcoming election day here in New York State is going to be on the 23rd, this upcoming Tuesday. And it's not strange there are no happenings. I was actually able to go to Herbert Von King Park down here in Brooklyn, New York recently. Saw a couple politicians that are running for their position, whether re-election, as well as those who are running for the first time. And also got to see the mayor of New York City passing by as I was entering. So it's a blessing to be able to know that the Moors are able to connect in some way with their civic duty and know that our representatives are trying to interact with our community. So praise be to Allah. May we be able to continue to establish our civic duty and our connection to our local government. Praise be to Allah. This time, we want to give us another opportunity to share any comments, questions, thoughts before I take a reading of the financial report. Before I take a reading from the financial report in attendance, you most like to turn your attention to the Holy Quran and Moorish Science Temple of America. Circle 7, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Juali, by the guiding of his Father God Allah, great God of the universe, redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest vein of life, his Father God Allah. I'd like to take a reading from divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 25, a Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation, found on page 35 and 36. Divine instruction 1. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breasts of one mother hath given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all, in your love to each other. Praise be to Allah. That's a reading from the entirety of chapter 25, the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. Praise be to Allah. This time, dear Moors, I'd like to take a reading of the financial report in attendance. Islam? Moorish Science Temple of America, Incorporated, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder. Finance received for June the 19th, 2026, for Temple number 34. Public collection received $6. Literature and supplies received $30. Received a donation of 58 cents. Travel fund received $6. Local building fund received $6. Coming out to a grand total of $48.58, with a total attendance of 16, with 4 in person and 12 online. Peace. Islam?
Islam?
For the reading of the financial report in attendance was the will and pleasure of the Moors. Islam, Brother C. Ferguson.
Islam, I move that the financial report and attendance be accepted with necessary correction if there be any.
Peace. Praise be to Allah. As you move by Brother C. Ferguson, that the financial report in attendance be accepted with necessary corrections if there be any. Can I receive a second? Islam. I second. Islam. Praise be to Allah. It was moved by Brother C. Ferguson Neal and seconded by Brother P. Martin that the financial report in attendance of June the 19th, 2026 be accepted with any necessary corrections to the being. You heard the motion. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
All those that are in favor of the motion, please show by the Moorish way of voting. Islam. Raising the right hand. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Let the secretary note that the motion has been carried.
Carried, praise Allah.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Once again, I'd like to give honors and thank each and every one of the Muslims and Asiatics for the contributions physically, spiritually, and financially. I pray that Allah will be pleased with each and every one of our efforts and our striving to uplift ourselves and uplift fallen humanity. I pray that we can keep the divine covenant of our Holy Prophet on the hearts and on our minds, to keep our hearts and minds pure with love and our bodies clean with water. I pray that we can keep the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice on our hearts and our minds at all times. And I pray that we can keep the Moorish American prayer on our hearts, our minds, and on our tongues during times of need, in times of despair, and during times of joy, and during times of celebration. Once again, dear Morris, I pray that we can put out a thought that can heal the world for all those who are sick, and shut in, those who need healing. We pray that we can continue to remember that man and Allah are one. Praise be to Allah. May Allah be pleased. May Allah be pleased. May Allah be pleased. All rise. All those that are able. Face the east. Feet at a 90-degree angle. Raise 5 fingers on the left hand, 2 on the right. And repeat the Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
The Father
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By
By
night
night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
through his holy prophet.
Holy prophet.
Through Ali.
Through Ali.
Amen.
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 Peace. Happy Holy Day.
Love you.
Love you. Appreciate you all. Honest to all the speakers, honest to all the listeners. May Allah be pleased.
Praise